What's up, everybody? I'm just starting. I don't know what's going on. I'm 4 minutes past the time I'm supposed to start. Let me get some lotion on my hands, and I don't have any rings on. Um, Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know you stopped by. I do have a ring on. I keep one ring on. This ring on my ring finger on my left hand. I've always kept a ring on my left hand, a ring on my left finger, always like this, because the left is my dominant hand. And I remember women telling me all the time, like, men are going to think that you're married, don't wear a ring on that hand. And I'm like, what? This is my dominant hand, so I'm definitely gonna wear a ring on my ring finger. I've always worn a ring on my ring finger for like that's like my, when I go buy rings, I just buy a ring for my left hand, because of course my right hand is a little bit bigger than my left hand. But I always keep a ring on my left hand, always. And I remember women telling me all the time, don't wear a ring on that finger because men will think that you are married. And it never occurred to me. But I didn't switch it. I didn't change it. I was like, this is my dominant hand. This is what feels comfortable to me. So this is where I'm going to wear my ring. So yeah, I've always worn a ring on my left finger. Always, even if it's just a small little just a band. I remember noticing when I went to um private school, and the nuns had on wedding rings on they had bands, gold bands, all of them on their wedding finger, because they're married, or devoted their lives to God. So that maybe that's always been some kind of subconscious thing for me, because that's where I am in my life since 2019. I've decided, I'm devoted to God. My life's mission is to serve God. Um, so yeah. So shout out to the left-handed ring. You know, Debeers used to have a campaign for a left-handed ring that wasn't a quote wedding ring or whatever. So Debeers, the blood diamond people. They had I remember seeing that ad, and I remember tearing out a piece of a magazine, the ad for the magazine. It was this woman. I can't remember who the model was, but she had black hair and her eyes were like a light color, and the ring was like sparkling. Her eyes are sparkling, and the ring was sparkling, and they were like promoting left-handed left-handed rings. Let me see, De Beers. Let me see if they De Beers ad for handed left hand rings. Oh, maybe it was a right hand ring. Oh, it was a right hand ring. The key slogan was, your left hand says we, your right hand says me. So it was a right handed. So you got rings for your right hand instead of rings for your left hand, because you're supposed to leave your left hand open to show that you're unmarried. But I always wore, here's the ad. Here's the ad. Oh my God. Here is the fucking ad, bro. Here's the ad. There's the ad. I want to hold on. Let me save it so I can make it bigger. That's so crazy. I remember tearing this ad out of a magazine. I'm trying to show it to you a bigger. I mean, I could definitely just put it. I could have definitely just put it on the screen, but I wanted you to show the girl, because I remember her face. This is the girl, dark hair with blue eyes, and then this sparkle right there. Boom. I'm telling you, I have a good memory. I remember this ad. I don't remember what year this was. Let's see what year it was. Yep, the right hand ring. And then and so then the ad campaign says, your left hand declares your commitment. Your right hand is a declaration of independence. Your left hand lives for love. Your right hand lives for the moment. Your left hand wants to be held. Your right hand wants to be held high. Women of the world, raise your right hand. Anyways, let's go to the blogs and see.
I sponsor the. Now I sponsor the blog. Let me tell you something.
What is going on? Who is that? Kenya's having a good time in Dubai, honey. She is really having the time of her life. I'm. What do you guys think about? And be careful. What do you guys think about Northwest and how people are always on her? Let me stop. People are always on her for, you know, expressing herself. And I was like, do y'all remember being in junior high school? And that's really when you started to get your little personal, you started to wear, maybe you wore a little eyeliner, maybe you wore a little, lip smackers, lip gloss, maybe you painted your nails different colors. Do y'all remember what it was like to be 13, 12, 13, 14 in the 7th and 8th and 9th grade? Y'all don't remember trying to express yourself? I don't understand why people are like, Kanye was right. Kanye was right. Now, the only thing that I thought was wrong that she had on one time was a bustier. And Kim came out and said, yeah, that was not a good, sometimes you let your kids experiment with things. And after they put it on, you're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said okay to that. You know what I'm saying? But this is not, and she crosses between, like, she goes between what would be considered boyish to girly. Like, her hair is very girly. She's covered up. Like, she literally is covered up. Not one piece of skin is showing besides her face and her hands. And people are in the comments making like she looks grown. She looks grown. I'm like, she doesn't look grown. She looks like a 13-year. She looks like an 8th grader. She looks like somebody in the 8th grade. And she has the resources to be able to buy the things to express herself. But there's so many little girls in the beauty supply wanting to put colors in their hair, wanting to put colors in their braids, wanting to wear lip gloss, doing their hair, putting nails on. We had Lee press on nails. You know what I'm saying? Now the girls can go get their nails done and get the little gel nails and stuff like that and buy the stuff. But I don't understand why people mess with Northwest that much. And then, like, here's another one. Looking just like her dad and her mom, like literally looking like her mom and her dad. And look how she's dressed. She's literally dressed like a little boy, or how a little, for little boy clothes. Her hair is cute and blue. She's allowed to express herself. I think if you're a parent and you forgot what it was like to be a 12, 13, 14-year-old, and you discourage your kids from feeling confident in their own self-expression, you are doing such a disservice to your child. If your child wants to dye their hair, let them. If they want to put nails on or polish their nails, boys or girls, let them express themselves. Don't put confinements on a child. As long as they're being safe, as long as it's not provocative. You understand what I'm saying? She doesn't have her skin out. She doesn't have her butt out. She doesn't have her midriff showing. And she might do that because 12 and 13, 14-year-old girls can dress the way they want to fucking dress. As long as you don't look like you on the damn street at night, as long as you look like a whore, then we're good. I really don't understand the problem with little Northie. Look at her. I think, and she obviously blue is her color for her hair that she loves. But look how she's dressed with her little Rick Owens shoes on. And they're like, and then people in the comments are like, Kanye was right. How is it that I'm older than her, but she's out here acting older than me? So you've forgotten what it was like to be 12, 13, and 14 years old? Did your parents not allow you to express yourself through your clothes, your hair, and your accessories? Like, what is wrong with y'all? I hate that you grow into adults and then you forget what it was like to be a child and be allowed to express yourself. I think it's real. I think you do a disservice to children when you confine them from expressing themselves. Boys, girls, whatever they want. My son wanted to dye his hair. Dye your hair. What color you want to dye it? Okay, that's not too much. We can go with this color dye or whatever the hell you want to do. But I'm not going to tell you no. I'm not going to tell you no to dyeing your hair. No. because it's going to grow out anyway. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you no to wanting to put your hair in a mohawk. I'm not. I might say something about you putting a piercing in your face. In your face. Do you want your ears pierced? Fine. I have no problem with that. You want to go? My oldest son, when he got his ears pierced, he asked, "You want your ears pierced?" Yes. Okay. Let's go down to the place and get your ears pierced. My son, he's 18. The oldest one is 18, so whatever. But the youngest one, if he wanted a tattoo right now, I don't know if I would be like, he's 16. So I don't know. I've seen 16, like they have friends and they're in high school that have tattoos. I don't know. I don't know if I it depends on what it was. And then I'm like thinking like I would think like it depends on what it was, so it's not something that you look back on and regret. Like, when you get tattoos at a young age, they don't tend to be meaningful. Like, you know what I mean? And for me, my objective in getting tattoos has always been something that means something. I'm not just getting anything inked on my body. It has to mean something. It symbolizes something for me. It tells a story. It commemorates a time in my life, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So if it was something that he thought about and it was, and then I would probably consider it, right? 16, 17, 18, I would probably consider it. A girl getting a tattoo, I would probably consider it, right? Girls wanting to, wear makeup. Okay. When did your mom allow you to start wearing makeup? A lot of people say 15, 16, 17, when they got like into the older ages of high school. You can start wearing makeup. You can start getting your nails done. You can start getting your eyebrows arched, whatever it is, or getting waxed. I had a friend in early high school. She had a lot of hair. She was very hairy, arms very hairy. She had like, light little mustache, eyebrows, very hairy. Palestinian girl, my best friend in when I was a little girl. And when she started getting her eyebrows waxed, like, her little right here, her mom let her, she started doing bleaching. She started bleaching her mustache. I think she would bleach her arm hairs as well. Her mom let her do it because like, it's also gender affirming, right? I don't want to be around here with a bunch of hair on my arms and the boys are making fun of me because I have a little mustache and things like that. So her mother let her start bleaching her mustache, bleaching her arm hairs. You understand what I'm saying? And can you imagine what she would have gone through if her mom didn't allow that? She would have been made fun of. Then she would have had this insecurity about her being hairy. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to think about that. And I don't think that it's healthy to repress self-expression in children. I just don't. I just don't. And everything can be done within certain parameters. You understand what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're not going to dye your hair. I don't know. To me, I feel like dyeing your hair is like expressing yourself. And how can I express myself? Through my hairstyle, through my jewelry, through my nails, through my glasses, through my scarf. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm expressing myself. How dare you discourage a child from expressing themselves, especially if it's not anything really bad. Somebody said it's so sad. Nice outfit. Somebody, a lot of people have said, hearts. I don't understand what the problem is. Oh no, I already showed you this video. Hold on. And here she is with her mother. She really looks like her dad and her mom together. But I feel like she really looks like, look at it. She really looks like him. But she looks like a mixture of both of them. But yeah, I don't see nothing wrong with her expressing herself. She got her gold, she got her chains on, she got her glasses on, got her little earrings on, still covered up. I know the mothers be happy when they little girls like to dress like boys, so they don't have to be, so they're not covered up. And then here, what are they, little Harajuku dolls? This is normal. I think this is so normal for 13 and 14-year-olds. I really do. I think this is so normal. They're expressing that. I think this is Halloween. So they're in their Halloween costumes with their, I think it's normal. I don't know. I think, what do y'all think? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Here she is again. She let her express herself. Wait, there she is. There she goes. Oh, she's playing Kaisanat. I'm all for children expressing themselves. I love it. Here she is as Tiana, the princess, with the rest of the princesses from Disney. Girl, we was like, y'all don't remember what it was like to be 14, 13 with your friends and stuff? Like, what is wrong with y'all? I just think it's so weird. Somebody says this Halloween outfit is too inappropriate. A princess costume? Girl. Yeah, y'all are crazy. Y'all are insane. And it's like you put these parameters on these kids trying to act like you're raising your kids different. I'm sure your kids express themselves too. I'm sure they express themselves too. And here she is playing her dad, obviously, and her mom behind her. I think it's great. I think it's great. I love it. I love it. I've always been a fan of Little Northwest. Since she was a little girl, I used to always, since she was a baby, I used to always use her face, her little facial expressions as my reactions because she had the best little facial expression. She's always doing stuff like that, mad, channeling her miserable ass daddy. Yeah, and I don't think anything is wrong with it, and I think people acting like something's wrong with the way she dresses and stuff like that. Like I said, the only thing that I thought was wrong that day she had on that bustier, but even Kim admitted, she was like, "Yeah, that was a little too much." She was like, "But I agreed to it, but then after she wore it, I was just like, maybe not." But that's part of parenting. It's like, why are you guys so fucking sticks up your ass? But it's crazy because if we come in your house, I bet you the teenagers in your house are dressing a certain way and you don't really have nothing to say about it. And then she probably has her own money. Like, you understand what I'm saying? She probably has her own money. North probably has her own stylist. Somebody probably picks clothes out for her. And do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? You understand what I'm saying? So I think it's all fun. I think it is all fun, 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 fun. Girl, did you hear that Brian McKnight Jr. says that his dying brother, Nico, requested his father to say, I love you before his death? Brian McKnight allegedly replied, I can't arbitrarily say I love you.
Send that nigga to jail. Period.
Julie McKnight also slams belittling the singer. I wish they would change their last names. I wish they should. They should. No, I'm not changing. I'm not changing my comment. What do you mean? He's a disgrace. That goes against community guidelines, girl. Just saw somebody got shot on Instagram, and you telling me he's a disgrace goes against community guidelines? Girl, get out the fuck out my face. My coffee, it tastes so good, so good. Listen to this.
And coldest and most disheartening memories. One of the darkest and coldest and most disheartening memories of my life is the day my brother calls me sobbing with all that he's going through, looking death in the eye, to tell me I'm right about telling him not to call my father. Because I knew what was going to happen. Because I knew where my dad was. I told him, Dad is gone. Dad's gone. All my brother wanted and needed, asked for, was my father to tell him that he loves him. And my brother responds to him, my father responds to my brother that I can't arbitrarily say that I love you.
Right.
But this is the man that wanted to help him?
Yes, people heard the voicemail, but they have no idea that as a mom, standing in the room with my son on speaker with his wife and hearing how belittling his father talked to him. If the first comment out of his mouth was, I don't appreciate the way you're treating my new family, who gives a damn, man?
One of the dark...
Brian McKnight breaks silence on son Nico's cancer death and slams Nico's mother and his own brother, Claude McKnight, for tasteless TikTok video. And it's really sad that all you wanted was a man who has consistently rejected you. If I was their mother, as soon as he rejected the family, we're going to the courthouse. I don't give a damn if you 22, 32, and 62. We going to the courthouse and changing everybody's name because this man doesn't want you to be his offspring. So y'all will be my offspring, which is what matters anyway. Period. When I tell you, if more women would keep, whether married or not, I change it every time. Sometimes I say when you're married, just get it hyphenated. No, you have to prove you've gave a teaspoon of sperm to create this baby. You've done out of 100%. Barely 1% you've contributed to this baby. When the baby comes out, I'm the primary caretaker. I take care of the baby. I do make the sacrifices. I do all these things. I'm not going to give you the honor and privilege to live another generation through offspring with your last name. No, you don't get that honor. You don't get that privilege. You don't. If you're an awful person, you don't get to live on another generation. He has a bunch of other kids over there. Brian McKnight, when I tell you, there's no way that this man, the way that he has behaved with his original family, can anybody support him? Like we say, we don't support R. Kelly, we don't support blah, blah, blah. But Brian McKnight, what he's done, he deserves zero support. And I'm glad that the last time he had a show that he couldn't sell out. He didn't sell out the show. It would be empty. No woman should be in there. And I know that probably 100% of his fans are women. Probably 98% of Brian McKnight's fans are women. And for a man to get on the stage and deny his family, then change his fucking name so he can have another junior, you wouldn't have to worry about. Guess what? You don't have to worry about changing your name. We're changing our names. So you can go ahead and have your junior, sir. Ain't going to be no Brian McKnight Jr. It's going to be Brian Johnson. I'm going to be named after my motherfucking mother who put in the work physically with her body and then put in the work physically with her body, her mental, her emotional, her spiritual into her children. How dare you? Brian McKnight is a disgrace. Nigga, throw a shoe at you. The bottom, you're less than the bottom of a shoe. Gross, disgusting, a disgusting human being, a disgrace. I wouldn't even carry the McKnight name. That's a disgrace. His last name is a disgrace. Terrible. I can't arbitrarily tell you I love you because the motherfucker doesn't love you. And if another bitch comes along, he gonna do the Hawaiian lady the same fucking way. How the audacity. And I know some of y'all might know because it's a lot of people out here how grimy and egregious these motherfucking men are. The boy's father, his father went out and had another family and named his other son the same name as my boy's father. He has a brother with his same name because the father did the same fucking thing as Brian McKnight. Went out and had another family and had another junior. How many people do you know whose father went out and had another baby and named the baby the same name as his previous son? So he basically has two juniors. How audacious. How arrogant. You don't deserve offspring. You don't deserve offspring running around with your last name. You don't deserve it. Satan himself is booking him a first-class flight to the lower room. Man, shut up. After he died, you want to talk? Unbelievable. This is so disheartening. This is insane. He, Brian McKnight, may have fell and bumped his head somewhere. They need to get him checked out, or is he going through dementia? No, he's just an asshole. There's nothing medically wrong with him. There's personality. The personality is fucked up. Nothing medical. It's the personality. Why does he still have 500,000 followers on this app? Please tell a friend and tell a friend to unfollow him. Let me go to Brian McKnight's page and see if we have any mutuals. Because Brian McKnight is, hold on. What's his name? Brian. Yeah, he got 500,000 followers. Let me see. We only have 7 mutuals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we only got 7 mutuals, and 3 of them are business pages. No, 2 of them are like blogs. I don't know who this guy is. Who is this guy? Oh, he's a singer. Okay, he's a singer. And that's probably why he's following Brian McKnight. Yeah, I wouldn't follow Brian McKnight. He's a disgrace. The way that I would wear his ass out to the point where he would have to turn his comments off. Brian McKnight is disgusting. That's terrible. I wouldn't want my son I wouldn't want my son that's on his last breath anywhere near Brian. To punish him and keep him away from the family that loves him by being hateful on a power trip. Brian would probably place a pillow over his face. I don't blame Julie and Nico's wife one bit. Not only to deny your children, but then to go and change your name so that the next child that you have can be your junior. How audacious. Who the fuck are you? You don't deserve a junior. And then who is this bitch that he's married to? You're a weak bitch too. You a sorry weak bitch. What makes you, girl? That. How do you look on as a man denies his first family? He denies the whole family. Says that the children were not made out of love. Then he goes on to change his name so the new baby he has can be a junior, and you just sitting there. You a weak bitch. You are tired ass bitch. Brian McKnight should feel it. He should be ashamed of himself. But the crazy part is he's not. And why should he be? He got a wife. He got some more kids. Ain't nothing changed. I neglect my whole family. Have a new family. Change my name so the baby can be a junior. Man, fuck Brian McKnight. Terrible. Akbar V. When I tell you, she has to be the most bulbous, ignorant slug running around the internet. Why are you so goddamn ignorant? Why? So many people say that we look alike. Girl, okay, but you ignorant as fuck. Our brains ain't alike by any means, bitch. When I tell you that is one ignorant ass bitch who sound like she got dicks and bread in her mouth when she talks, she sounds terrible. And she just sounds like she sounds like a old ignorant ass boomer. What generation were you born in? You are an ignorant ass bitch. Akbar V shares her opinion on the new Diddy documentary, questions why Cassie and others didn't leave, the same why you didn't leave when you was getting your head knocked between a fucking washer and a dryer, bitch. The same fucking reason why you didn't leave your abusive ass relationship. Oh, you lucky I can't tag you, ho. Baby, I was about to tag Akbar V. You lucky I can't. You know I typically don't tag the people, the public figures, but I was about to tag you, bitch. Fucking slug. I was about to tag you. Oh, you lucky you can't be tagged. Why didn't you leave your husband? Girl, why didn't you leave from the man who abused you? Everyone involved was crazy. Girl, shut up. The same reason why you let the man whoop your ass. You haven't left, so hush. Same reason people go to Dubai and get shit on money. Same reason you ain't leave yet. More proof she lacks intelligence. I encourage all to research psychological abuse and the impact of DV. People are slow and do not utilize their platforms appropriate. No, these motherfuckers be in abusive relationships and they think it's normal. That's why I tell my children, you don't know where people come from and you don't know what their definitions of love is. You motherfuckers get abused so bad, so much that you don't even think that what you're experiencing is abuse. And so when people looking on you like, why you didn't leave? Shut up. Why your big ass head didn't leave? Diddy, when you come home, give your life to Jesus. Go back to your first love. Jesus is the way.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
Me watching this Diddy documentary, it shows that a lot of them was cool when stuff was going on, then got balls when Cassie did what she did. Why didn't y'all quit? I'm just asking. Little Rod is a dope producer. He's the only one I'm seeing wasn't with none of it. Cassie is so pretty, and look, looked like she had a lot of good energy. My question is, why didn't y'all just leave? You took so long getting on that elevator. I would have hit the steps or something, but putting on shoes in front of an elevator and texting, waiting around, baby, no ma'am. What I get from watching part of this documentary is that it was the moment everyone was okay. They wanted to be around, they wanted to be paid. But but when Cassie's what she did, when Cassie did what she did, everyone was ready to go at him because they tolerated him but didn't like or fuck with him. He's a demon. He's irreparable. Jesus cannot save him, baby. He has given his life over to your version of the dark side and the devil and demonic forces and entities. That is who he is. He is irredeemable, irreparable. He is an agent of darkness. Do you understand? You would not understand what an agent of darkness was unless you understood what an agent of lightness is. You don't understand that? One cannot exist without the other. So therefore, these evil demonic people exist. They're not going anywhere. One cannot exist without the other. You wouldn't understand one without the other. So there are some people on this earth who operate for the dark side, fool. And Puffy is one of them. And he chose his path, and his mother encouraged it. All that beating, all having all the kind of shit around him, drugs and the pimp lifestyle, that pimp culture, having him believe his father was some type of fucking gangster hero and he was nothing but a motherfucking do boy, a driver or some shit like that. Wasn't he like a driver or something? A do boy? She has got to be the most ignorant ass fool on the internet. Kandi's cousin. Just ignorant. Ugh. Prayers up. Kandi speaks out amid ongoing divorce from Todd. I'll show up with a smile all while inside I'm emotionally broken. I'm a poster child for check on your strong friends. Yeah, Tauruses, they refuse to let anybody see them sweat. Not a Taurus. You ain't never gonna. They're gonna be like she said, whatever is, it'd be a chaos, a fucking storm going on the inside, and they'll just be like this. Virgos are the same way. Virgos are the same way. I'm trying to think. Yeah, we're the same way. I don't know if it's an earth sign thing, but yeah. So it's Kandi, this is what it looks like when I'm going through something. I show up for my family. I show up for my friends. I show up to handle my business. I show up with a smile, all while inside I'm emotionally broken. In every pic of this video, I was internally dealing with something life-changing that most people... Uh-oh. Wait, hold on. That most people in the pics with me had no clue of my inner stress and sadness. This is not being fake. This is how I deal with things. I internalize and deal with it alone. I am the poster child for saying check on your strong friends because you never know what they're going through. I normally don't like to share stuff like this, but I was listening to an old song that I wrote years ago, and I felt it perfectly described how I feel. What was the song? Was that... Sugar Mama said, what did Sugar Mama say to Natalie? I'm going to find that. We talked about it last night on Rodney's Live, Kandi. Natalie versus Kandi. Here it is. Hold on, let's get to it. Don't push me. Kandi, you got businesses. Here.
What is it about Chamberlain University that makes our nursing students so successful?
Girl, we about to listen to this. Hold on. Listen to this. Listen.
Well, Kandi, you got a good one now. You're about to either elope, walk down the aisle. Actually, I know that. There's 3 things I know about Kandi. You don't come for her mom, you don't come for her food, and you definitely don't come for her man. So
Watch out, Natalie. How do you know Todd?
I have a girlfriend and aunt, a very good friend of mine, and that's his ex-girlfriend.
Right, he told me.
He kind of, broke her heart,
Candy's like this.
Oh, well.
Oh well, I got him now, girl.
You went there. Oh, no, I understand that.
This is what I call a Yelp review, right? She's giving Kandi a Yelp review, and what is Kandi doing? Ignoring the Yelp review. When the Yelp review is given out, the girls act like you're being a hater, right? You're being a hater. Kandi was like that ain't my problem. He hurt somebody else. Girl, you might want to talk to the girl.
I never went there. You did because you did go there, Kenya, which was very rude. Oh, you think so? You can't talk. Don't come for people's marriages when you're not married. It was very rude. I'm sorry you feel that way. No, I accept your apology. Oh, that wasn't an apology. Oh, Kenya is such a troublemaker. I was. I should Natalie. Yeah, you are, Kenya. I'm glad you know me so well. No, I don't know. Good for him.
I want y'all to hear what Kandi says.
Like a little bit, she's on the other side of the table. No offense to you, nobody really cares about your friend, and you can stop bringing her up because we really don't give a about it. And bottom line, for you to say that he want to date up, you just let me know you think I'm a hot bitch, and I am, and it's all good. And the buck stops here. If you don't get no hotter, you're right. You're right. I'm successful. I can't help it, and I look good, so that means he has no reason to cheat. He got the hottest bitch you can find in Atlanta. He came up. Give it up for God. He came up. He came up. He said nothing but nice things about you. We'll be done. We'll be done.
Well, it could have been a scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
Thank you for coming.
Nene, thank you for coming. I'm a hot bitch. I just let you know you think I'm a hot bitch. He came up. I'm a hot bitch. I'm successful. I got it going on. He don't have no reason to cheat. Famous last words. Damn, sugar mama. Now you over there. They say he was cheating on her too.
Divorce, babe, divorce.
You took your little sawed off ass and was cheating on Kandi.
Tired ass, po ass, raggedy ass, slow ass niggas.
That's why we closing all these motherfucking restaurants. We closing everything, nickel. And that's what happens. You have to listen to the Yelp reviews. Y'all cannot ignore the previous woman's experience. It's going to whether it happens to you or not. To me, if somebody were to say, I have intel on the man that you're dating and you're serious with, and you ignore that because you think you're going to be different. When I tell you Todd played the long game, and the fact that Phaedra introduced Todd to Kandi, I've been saying it for years. She's like, you want to hit a lick? You want to hit a lick? I know somebody who's a low-key, high-key pick-me. You got great ideas. She got the capital. Remember, I used to say they make great business partners. He got a lot of great ideas, and she has the money and the capital to execute the ideas. I've been saying that about Kandi and Todd for years. And y'all used to be in the kind of, Todd is a good man. That's a good man. He came with his stuff. He didn't come empty-handed. Y'all act like he didn't have his shit going on before. He didn't have nothing going on. And if Kandi Burruss wasn't Kandi Burruss, Todd would not even fuck with her. And that's the truth. So he is an opportunist. And to me, in some situations, I don't see anything wrong with being an opportunist. If there's an opportunity to take and it benefits you, take it. Now, as long as you're not hurting anybody else, but if the opportunity presents itself, this woman wants to marry me, she likes me, she told me to quit my job, sugar mama. That's why I've been calling her sugar mama since she got with Todd, sugar mama. She liked them boys. I was going to take the money and give it to the little boys. Yeah, we know how you like them boys. You know, you like to give money out to them boys. Sugar mama. Shout out to Marlo. Marlo was giving Kandi hell about Todd. Does your mother like him? Does your mother know he runs around in your Range Rover? Sit up, get your posture right, girl. Get your posture back right. He just knows that I'm a real bitch. He came up all right. And that's why, listen to Kandi. She was very cocky, very arrogant.
Like a little dig, I know a lot of stuff about Peter. I felt like it was a little bit of a dig. It wasn't a dig, and that's my point. I was like, I don't bring up the past because it doesn't matter. And that wasn't what was said, Kandi. That wasn't what was said at all. That was just the past. You trying me right now. You trying me. Oh, hell you, lady. Whatever you talking about is from over a decade ago. Thank goodness she's on the other side of the table. No offense to you, nobody really cares about your friend, and you can stop bringing her up because we really don't give a about it. And bottom line, for you to say that he want to date up, you just let me know you think I'm a hot bitch, and I am, and it's all good. And the buck stops here because it don't get no hotter. You're right. You're right. I'm successful. I can't help it, and I look good, so that means he has no reason to cheat. He got the hottest bitch you can find in Atlanta. He came up. Give it up for Todd. He came up and made my he came up. He said nothing but nice things about you. We'll be done. We'll be done. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming. Nene is funny. Let's give it up for Todd. Girl, what you crying for? Girl, I'm so tired of you hoes crying. So shout out to Kandi. It is hard to go through a breakup, a divorce, or what have you, and to start a new chapter. But I hope Kandi, Kandi and Portia, I hope they get into their lesbian era of their lives. Shout out to Rox. I saw on her story she was like, old girl better watch out because basically Portia, she might see old girl as a come up, right? Because old girl seems very established. I think she's in real estate. I believe she's in some type of real estate, and she's a twin actually. Because I was on her page, I was snooping around. I was like, who is this lady? So she's a twin. She just had a birthday. We saw all the birthday pictures, but she's a twin. Another girl baby. And they had like a little photo shoot and stuff like that. The photo shoot was really cute. Her sister had on a really cute dress, like a little petticoat type of situation, but it was just a little skirt, but it was lace. It was real cute. She had a little umbrella. I was like, yes, bitch. But yeah, they looked like they had a really good time. Looked like everybody came out. But another fucking opportunist. Maybe she can go. Maybe Portia can go over there and get with Marvin, since she like to call up everybody's fucking man once they get a divorce and see how they doing. Slut. Girl, didn't she get on the phone didn't she get in Simon's DMs talking about I can give you what you want? Oh, that's the other fool. She got his DMs trying to check on him after his divorce from Fallon. What? And then did you see that interview with her and Cynthia? They were at where they go where Nick Cannon has that show where they're like playing games and stuff like that. And Cynthia and Portia were on there. And then they asked Portia, what part of Cynthia's life would you want? That Portia said to be with Leroy. She didn't even know the motherfucker's name. As long as he's somebody's ex-husband, bitch, I don't give a fuck what his name is. That's what I want. She said she wanted Leroy. They was like, his name is Leon. You don't even know his name. You just want somebody else's fucking man. A whore. She got red nails because the whores have red nails and red lips.
Did you ever sell it? Did I ever? The cat.
No, I did not.
And red pumps. Come on, pumps. Pumps in the bump. Pumps in the bump. Shout out to Kandi. This shit broke Kandi. I think she truly loved Todd. Why? It's literally an investment that she made. And she wasn't seeing a return on her investment. And she got the fuck out. Now, if they come around and they say that he's cheating on her, I don't know what to say. Kandi reportedly discovered Todd was communicating with other women behind her back before filing for divorce. And the way that y'all act like, you pedestalize these men, right? I was calling Todd Burruss. I'm going to call him Todd Burruss, right? Y'all think it's disrespectful to call a man by his wife's last name. Even on Love and Marriage Huntsville, when Marceau called Courtney Steele, when it's Stormy's last name, and he was like, "I know what you're trying to do." And the fact that in your brain that you think it's disrespectful to call a man by his wife's name, but it's respectful to call a woman by her husband's name, that means you pedestalize men. You think a man's last name is worth more than her last name, to the point where you think it's disrespectful if you call a man by his wife's last name. She's a motherfucking breadwinner. If it was a traditional setup, then we'd call her Kandi Tucker. But this ain't nothing traditional about this shit. Ain't nothing traditional. Okay? Because she taking care of you, had you quit your job. Y'all got black women. I need for y'all to stop retiring these niggas. Stop it. Stop it. Just to have some love it. And then you cheating. According to People, Kandi reportedly discovered Todd was communicating with other women behind her back shortly before filing for divorce. They claim she had no idea and was not happy about the alleged communication between both parties. If you recall, Kandi filed for divorce on November 21st, shortly after news broke that she had trouble had been brewing for a while during the Amazon Live. "I'm all over the place," she said. "Some things just don't work out. It is what it is." Following that, Todd requested full custody of the kids due to Kandi's work schedule and claimed he was pressured into signing the prenup without being able to consult his team. He's a liar. He was waiting. I said that on my last video. He was waiting to the last minute, hoping that she would be excited about that wedding and not have him sign that prenup. Kandi refuted the claim, stating that the prenuptial negotiations had actually been documented on her Bravo wedding spinoff and reportedly submitted footage as evidence. She also recently requested for the courts to seal court proceedings pertaining to the divorce. This is going to be messy. And we kept saying we hope it doesn't get messy. But the way that Todd, every time he would get in Kandi's dressing room and her closet, and they would be having those conversations, it was always rooted in some type of male chauvinist, male comes first. If I was a Hilton, you not a Hilton, motherfucker. You a Tucker, and you married the Burrusses of Atlanta. This is not traditional. She shouldn't have took your last name. Blaze and Ace should have Kandi's last name. I'm sorry. Nigga, who the fuck are you? Sorry. Todd, y'all acting like Todd didn't come in with his own shit. Y'all acting like Todd didn't have his own. Did he have his own? Because if he had his own, there's no way that you can convince him to quit his jobs if he had his own. I bet you Todd didn't even pay for that damn wedding. I bet you he didn't pay for that wedding. Everybody's saying this is sad. This is sad. Opening y'all marriage to other women together never goes well. I don't think it's true. I think what happens is, again, here we are again. Men operate from a place of deception. So even if you give them the opportunity and say this is okay for you to do, look at Michael Blackson and Rada. Rada's only rule was don't get anybody pregnant. And what does Michael Blackson do? Get somebody pregnant. That's all. She said, you can have side chicks. You can do your thing. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm fine with that. Protect yourself. Don't have any babies. But he's actually going in raw in you and another broad at the same time. Y'all pregnant at the same fucking time. And then y'all name the babies after him. Y'all, why do you all give men the privilege to live another generation when they have harmed you and put your life at risk? You will never get the opportunity. You won't have offspring. You're gonna have to fight me. We're gonna have to go to court because the baby is gonna have. We're not married, right? I can see, and even then, that so many women keep their last names. That's one thing in Islam. When you get quote married, you don't have to. A woman doesn't have to change her last name. It's so funny because even though it's a Father God religion, there are pieces within that Father God religion that kind of uplifts the woman and kind of reveres the woman in ways, right? Because they tell, even in Islam, they tell you the way to heaven is through your mother. You love your mother more times than you love your father. I think 3 more times or 4 more times than you love your father, right? To get into heaven, you sit at your mother's feet, right? You have to, it's like, and then the women, their money that they have, if they're in a traditional sense, the man makes the money, brings home the money to the home. Whatever money, if she does have a job, whatever money she makes is hers. If she wants to contribute to the house, she can. She doesn't have to. She also does not have to change her last name. That's some patriarchal lineage BS to keep men with property. That's all that it means, is that this is my property. This is my property. This is my property. And a lot of those men don't even possess the child for long enough to even call them property. You don't even raise these children. How do you have your last name on something you have had no hand in raising? How is that? You just automatically get to live another generation because you gave a teaspoon of sperm and she probably didn't even have a fucking orgasm? Get out of here. Burruss, that's the name. And then you sit there and respect her like that, talking about what's a name that has legacy. Burruss, nah, not that. Girl, what the fuck? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Nigga, you wouldn't have married me if I wasn't a motherfucking Burruss, nigga. Get the fuck out my face, you fucking little leprechaun bitch, little sawed-off toy soldier. Get your ass up out of here. And then when y'all uplift these men and put them on pedestals, it just opens the gates up for other women. Kandi co-signed him. Now everybody thinks Todd is such a great man. I've been on his motherfucking neck as long as Bertha and motherfucking Joyce. We all in it together. We got our kitten heels on that short nigga's neck. We sure do. She got kitten heels on. I sure do.
You got kitten heels on?
I had ladies.
Did she have kitten heels on?
I'ma always give that I always gave him the blues. I saw that motherfucker coming from a mile away. His little sawed off ass coming from a mile away. I saw his little ass coming from a mile away. And when Natalie said that man was an opportunist, everybody at that table, Nene, Kenya, Cynthia, Marlo, all of y'all, not Marlo, because Marlo's always had her good eye and her thick tongue on Todd. Yeah, there's some people that have seen Todd coming from a mile away, but you don't want to listen. You said I'm that girl. I did let you know that I'm a bad bitch. He came up. You said that out your mouth. Ooh, you don't have no shame. I would never say the nigga came up by getting with me. We know that he did, but I'm not celebrating it. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Natalie said his ass was an opportunist. Phaedra hooked him up with you. That's where I would be looking. Just the fact that Phaedra introduced him to you.
And I'm going to go to the car and dial 911 because you're going to jail, bitch.
I would have broke up as soon as me and Phaedra stopped being friends. Me and Todd is getting a divorce. You're not going to be sitting around plotting on my motherfucking money. Moral of the story is a man is still going to cheat even if you invite a +1 in the bedroom. Men cheat in poly relationships, my nigga. You're living a lifestyle where you're claiming that you can be in love with more than one person, and you still operate from a place of deception when it comes to these women. You poly, but you won't tell one woman about the other woman, because in their minds it's a game that they're playing. How can I get over on this girl? How can I get her emotionally connected to me and also get her emotionally connected to me, and then let me triangulate these women? That's why the women ignore the Yelp reviews. You had a Yelp review right in front of you talking about that. What, we don't really care about your friend. Well, you should. Y'all better start listening to other women who've had experiences with the man you in a relationship with. Instead of asking a motherfucker on the first date, does he want some kids? You need to ask him for some goddamn references. I need 2 references. I need to talk to 2 of the women you've been with in the past. Why? Okay, that's all I need to know. Never mind. And never talk to that motherfucker again. Here's another dude you sitting across from. I would like to speak to the last 2 women you were with, or the last 2 people you were with. Okay. because we still cool. We had an amicable breakup, blah, blah, blah. You could talk to the girl, hey, how was he? This and that. Did he do that? Whatever your questions you want to ask. So you can go in informed. Whether you take heed to what the person told you or not, if you are able to get insight on a person you are planning to be in a relationship with, you know, sometimes somebody, you might call somebody and they could tell you a bunch of shit and it not be true. You could take it with a grain of salt if you want to, but it's always going to be in your head. I'd rather have the information and not use it than not have the information and walk in blind. But Kandi said, that just lets you know I'm that bitch. Now you a bitch getting a divorce. You hate to see it. That's very sad. Anyways, I gotta go. Another video coming up. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.